Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. They say their talented daughter,
Danielle, is a hula hoop performer,
has a volatile boyfriend.
We're always on the same wavelength.
Except when he's giving you a black eye.
I usually start it.
Do you think you are a victim of abuse?
No.
You say he detains me by putting me in a chokehold until I calm down.
I think Danielle is showing signs of Stockholm Syndrome.
It's not like I pushed her into doing something she didn't want to do.
Has he gotten her mixed up in some risky behavior?
I liked it. It was fun.
I'm ashamed of you.
He's changed your moral compass. Don't you get it?
Is he to blame?
I am not a woman beater.
You have put your hands on Danielle in anger.
It's not out of anger. It's to calm down the situation. We all know that females are extremely emotional.
That didn't play very well in this room. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. At 28 years old, Justin says he is already a music producer with his own production company and has DJ'd all over the East Coast producing songs for up-and-coming artists. He also says he is an Army veteran with a solid foundation both morally and ethically. His girlfriend, Danielle, well, she agrees. So why then do Danielle's parents, Marcy and Scott, say their daughter has Stockholm Syndrome and Justin is nothing but an abusive narcissist who has manipulated their daughter into believing he's God's gift to the world? Take a look.
Danielle's boyfriend, Justin, has taken away all her self-esteem and desire to do better. Before she met Justin, she was a talented hula hoop performer and had a lot of potential.
Thanks to Justin, Danielle has nothing. Justin is 110% a narcissist. Justin is verbally, emotionally, financially, and physically abusive to my daughter. Danielle admitted to me that Justin punched her in the face and gave her a black eye.
Justin has called her a whore, loser, slut, bitch.
He's controlling. He's a sexual deviant.
Justin lies to Danielle about anything and everything. If his lips are moving, he's lying. He told me he was the CEO of a music production company which doesn't produce anything. Justin does use Bible scripture and her faith to manipulate Danielle. He claims that God speaks to him, and that's the direction that they should go in.
I just thought he was delusional. There's no way God would ever speak to that boy.
My daughter Danielle is stuck in a loop. She can't move on from her relationship with Justin, even though it's volatile and dangerous.
The first time that Justin and Danielle came to visit our home, I noticed he could be abusive. One time, when I was visiting Danielle, I got to their apartment, the first thing I saw was that there was no bathroom door. It was just destroyed. I was really scared for my daughter. I called 911.
He's gonna come home very soon and it's gonna be really bad.
Okay, you take a deep breath.
He has choked her out to unconsciousness in the bed.
Danielle thinks that she's so in love with Justin that she's willing to just dismiss his horrific behavior. I think Danielle is showing signs of Stockholm Syndrome because if I say anything negative against Justin, she gets really angry with me.
Justin is a criminal, and I have major concerns about my daughter's safety. Recently, Justin was arrested for burglary and assault. He has history of battery, domestic battery. He's got a list of charges right now that he's in court for. Justin also lies to Danielle about what he's doing because he cheats on her.
Danielle and Justin had a quick breakup, and he went right to another woman.
We convinced Danielle to come home, and when she came home, Danielle looked like a dog that had been beat too much, like a refugee. Danielle was in a bad place.
I truly believe that if Danielle doesn't get away from Justin, she will die by his hand.
Okay, let's just jump right into this, all right?
Sure.
Now, for argument's sake, let's say everything you just said is exactly right. How did this happen to this beautiful young woman you raised?
That's what we don't understand.
Well, you were there, though. You raised her.
You know what? We trusted her. We trusted her to go out and graduate college and seek her dream. And we were there via phone. You know, she wanted to travel down to New Orleans to make a go with her brother. That was also down there, so we felt great about that. Her brother was down there.
Did you role model low self-esteem?
Myself? No.
Did you?
No, we have a lot of confidence in our daughter. She's a She's a leader. She's somebody who's not afraid to conquer anything until she met Justin.
You guys have no clue, no insight. You wouldn't have predicted this. You weren't afraid of it. You didn't see this coming.
Not at all.
No.
Total blindside.
Blindsided.
Blindsided.
Our daughter
Our family unit is so strong. We are really strong. We have a great dynamic.
Because they characterize you as overbearing and dominant.
I would say my wife stands up for what's right. She'll tell you
That's
what she's feeling in her heart. She's not afraid to. She's not going to candy coat it. She's just going to tell you how it is.
And I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Well, your daughter Danielle admits that Justin has choked her out, but she says she loves him and that he's just not going anywhere. They're not breaking up. Take a look.
I'm stuck in the middle between my boyfriend Justin and my family. I'm in constant battles with my parents because they don't approve of the relationship, and it really bothers me that my parents have such an issue with Justin. My mom is constantly saying bad things about Justin to me. She'll say Justin is no good, that he's a narcissist. I feel really hurt when she says those things to me. I love Justin so much because we have a lot in common. We complement each other very well with our looks, and we have great sexual chemistry. I love how good-looking Justin is. Just by looking at him, it makes me feel like I'm melting. We have so much love that we can get through a lot of our issues. Justin can be physically and emotionally abusive. Justin has urges and fantasies with other women. I'm constantly on the phone with him, texting him or seeing where he's going, what he's doing, who he's with. I know that when we broke up for about a week, he slept with someone else. He justifies it by saying that if someone were an alcoholic, then they would just turn to the bottle. Well, I have women problems, so I turn to a woman. I don't know why I always forgive him. With the physical abuse, I always start it. I'll punch him or lash out. He'll detain me by putting me in a chokehold until I calm down. One time, we were coming home from a bar. I started nagging him, getting in his face. Justin ended up slamming the door on my hand. Another time, we got into a fight and I ended up pushing his equipment. I ended up with a black eye. Justin can be mentally abusive. He calls me crazy, a raging lunatic, and a bitch. My parents think that he's a criminal. Justin got arrested for assaulting someone. Justin thought that he could fight this from a distance, so we fled from New Orleans to Texas. I was like, let's go. I don't like this city. I was like, okay, let's go. I decided to run with him because I'm a ride or die. I'm just that kind of girl.
Well, okay, let me ask you something before we start, because let's love every idea for 5 minutes, okay? Let's love the idea that he's right for you, okay?
Okay.
What's good about him?
He does treat me with love. He can care for me. I guess what I like is just we're a team. We're always on the same wavelength. Meaning,
except when he's choking you out or slamming your hand in the car door or giving you a black eye, or those times you're not on the same page.
I usually start it. I'll punch him, or I'm just nagging about something, or I have an attitude. And
well, we asked you why you were with Justin, and you said, and I quote, "I love how good looking he is.
Yeah.
We just have a lot of fun together.
Mm-hmm.
We have great sexual chemistry. We complement each other so well because of our love for music and definitely our looks. I'm attracted to Justin's lifestyle. It's a lot of fun. You said Justin is a really talented DJ and producer. If he's DJing or producing music, then I get to go do what I love, which is dancing. So it sounds to me like he's a fun date.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He's a fun date.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy his company.
Is that enough?
I think so.
What could he do that would cause you to say, enough's enough and too much is too much, and we've hit that marker?
I don't really have boundaries, or I don't know where to draw the line. So nothing really. No.
He's cheated on you, right?
No, not that I know of.
He hasn't cheated on you?
Mm-mm.
He's hit you.
Yeah, I've hit him
He's
first.
choked you unconscious.
Yeah.
Does he call you names?
Sometimes, yeah.
But you can't imagine anything he's done that would cause you to say, I'm out of here.
No.
Does that seem odd to you?
We have a lot of love for each other, so we can get past it.
Does your father love you?
Yes.
A lot? Mm-hmm. How about your mom?
Yeah.
Have they ever given you a black eye?
No.
Have they ever choked you unconscious?
No.
So there is love without physical violence. So shouldn't you at least weigh what they're saying? I'm not saying that you let them run your life, but you should weigh what they're saying.
I do. I respect it, but she was a drinker. She just wasn't a good role model to me.
Mm-hmm. Do you still drink?
No. I'm totally sober.
How long?
2 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 years, okay.
You don't believe that?
No.
How long do you think? Is she sober?
Yeah.
How long?
Maybe 4 months.
One time in that 2 years, I went overboard one night. And
which really affected me. You disrespected me that night.
I did. All right, so I did. I disrespected her that night. I wanted to talk to her, and then I was drinking that night, and that was one night. Mm-hmm. But
But that hits the reset button for me.
Right.
Well, of course. Of course it does.
And I feel bad about that, and I apologized about that. And you know I don't think about you that way at all.
Well, Justin says he's not a woman beater. So why did he break down the bathroom door, give Danielle a black eye, and choke her to unconsciousness? Well, we're going to talk to him after the break.
I'm still trying to find a reason why Danielle's parents do not like me. Danielle's parents need to realize I'm not going anywhere. I consider myself to be a pretty good guy, a catch to the average woman. I got big dreams.
And later...
He's the CEO of a company. How come he can't financially support you?
He can't even buy you food. You're eating eggs.
You came home malnourished.
Didn't have any money at that time.
You didn't have any money?
I said,
I thought you were a big CEO.
I'm a professional hula hooper. I can do lots of tricks, and I'm constantly working on my craft. The crowd really enjoys what I do. They're shocked that you can do the things that I do with the hula hoop.
Danielle and I had conversations about teaching hooping, and she even had clients. But after one conversation with Justin, that was diminished. Justin told her that the idea was stupid and totally deflated her.
Well, Marcy and Scott say their daughter's boyfriend is a dangerous narcissist who has killed all of her drive and ambition. But Justin says he's a great guy with that X factor only some of us can dream of. Take a look.
My relationship with Danielle's parents is hostile at best. They're accusing me of bringing her down in life, and they're trying to turn Danielle against me. Her parents are viewing me as this monster when I'm just a very chill, down-to-earth type dude that just wants to love their daughter. I consider myself to be a pretty good guy, a catch to the average woman. I got big dreams. Danielle's the perfect girl for me because she gets me on all wavelengths. We might have our confrontations, but we always work through them. I am not a woman beater. I have choked her because Danielle has gotten really upset and pushed me in the chest. I basically just had my arm around her. For the rear naked choke, I was just trying to tame her, calm her down a little bit. I am not a criminal. I have one stupid legal issue. I was a witness for something. Now I am part of the situation. I'm being charged with 3 counts aggravated second-degree battery, 3 counts armed robbery, and 3 counts false imprisonment. I know I can beat these charges. I've never been in any type of legal situation. I've gone to jail for a traffic ticket, nothing criminally offensive whatsoever. I do believe Danielle's parents control her every day. I'm still trying to find a reason why Danielle's parents do not like me. Danielle's parents need to realize I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, well, Justin is currently dealing with a serious legal situation and wasn't permitted to leave the state. So he's joining us via satellite at this point. You're currently in Louisiana?
Yes, I'm in New Orleans.
Okay, good. So why is it you can't travel?
I needed the bondsman, the insurance company that's with the bonds, they needed to say it was okay as well as the judge, and I ran out of time on a Friday because, you know, judges don't work on Saturday and Sunday, so I ran out of time before I could leave to come to LA.
He needed a $9,000 bond, which he couldn't raise.
Right.
And so you're wearing an electronic...
That's why you're there.
Okay, you're wearing an electronic monitoring bracelet?
Yeah.
I am.
Okay, what are the charges that are pending against you now?
I have aggravated second-degree battery, false imprisonment, and armed robbery.
And all of that was because you were just a witness?
Yes.
I was told he was a participant.
Well, how did you get charged as a witness?
I got charged because I wasn't at the actual place whenever the police officer came, and somebody told the police officer that I was there because I was there prior to the actual incident happening, and the police officer wrote it down on a police report, so now I have to go through the legal system to get it all taken care of. Once a police officer puts out a warrant, you have to go through the legal system. It doesn't just go away.
And so how long has this been pending?
It's been pending for about 2 weeks now. The state still hasn't picked up the charges.
Okay. But you fled the state and were extradited back. All that happened in 2 weeks?
Well, no, that happened last month. But I thought you were talking about the legal system here in New Orleans, because Texas was just holding me so that New Orleans could come get me. So everything didn't start till I got to New Orleans.
Okay, but how did you get arrested in Texas?
I got arrested by sitting in I was sitting in a car outside of an apartment complex. I just went to Walmart to get a phone card, and it's a really big college town, so they have a lot of security officers. They just walked up and tapped me on the window, said, "What are you doing?" They asked me who I was, and then at that point it was game over.
What were you doing?
I was sitting in my car listening to music, showing a friend some new music.
You were just sitting in the car listening to music, and they got and ran your name?
Yeah.
You were doing nothing wrong for them to do that, right? You were doing nothing wrong for them to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You were just sitting there?
If you don't believe that, let's read the police report.
How about we look at your
Words don't
history?
lie,
How about
so-
we look at your history? You say you've only been arrested once. How about the other charge for battery? How about the other charge for domestic battery? How about another charge
Where
for
was
theft?
I charged with battery?
Take a look at your record.
When was I charged with battery?
We've run your record, and I believe
My
Dr.
record,
Phil's
because
show
you
has
own it,
too.
right? You own my record. Yeah.
I know your record, yeah.
It's public,
that's right.
Justin. It's public.
Maybe you have a media police report.
Wow.
And media stretches everything.
Wow, Justin.
Justin, we got that police report from you.
If his lips are moving, he's lying.
And later, there is absolutely no excuse for him choking you unconscious.
That's not okay. That's what we're trying to tell you.
It really wasn't a big deal. It's like you guys exaggerate everything.
Gave us say that. Perhaps you didn't read it all the way through. Because that is buried in the back of the report that you sent us. I'm happy to show it to you after the show. Did you have a domestic violence arrest in North Carolina in August of 2013?
And those charges were dissolved,
But you were arrested.
but I was not prosecuted, so.
Okay. But you were arrested.
I could be arrested for jaywalking, you know what I'm saying, if I'm 5 feet off of a crosswalk, so.
Right.
Does that mean I actually endangered anything or anybody? So.
This had to do with a past girlfriend, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a domestic violence arrest in Florida in December of 2013?
Yes, it's the same woman. It was definitely one-sided.
Right, and that was in Florida. Same woman, different state?
Yes, yes.
And then the most recent arrest regarding New Orleans incident was in January, and then it cropped up again in November, and then you fled the state. Why did you flee? If this was just a big misunderstanding.
I had never, well, I mean, just because it's a misunderstanding doesn't mean that legal issues still don't, happen with you. People go to jail all the time and are in prison for years, and they're still innocent people just because they can't, they can't prove it, or they're waiting for evidence or something like that. I'm still sitting in jail, rotting away for 2 years before I actually get the charges dismissed. Yeah. I didn't want to deal with that. I wanted to.
Well, let me interrupt you and say this.
I was so innocent that I wanted to take it.
Well, let me interrupt you and say this. The fact that you were charged does not mean you have done one single thing wrong. And that may sound naive on my part, but being charged and being convicted are two completely different things. I may be the one person in the room right here that agrees with that. I do see a distinct difference there.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, you don't have to tell me. I'm telling you. No, I agree with you. That's the thing.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
That's the thing we agree with. Let's take a quick break. Next, Justin says Danielle hits and pushes him and leaves him no choice but to restrain her, choke her, sometimes to unconsciousness. We'll be right back. You have put your hands on Danielle in anger.
We all know that, females are extremely emotional, so. I have a talent for the gift of gab. I have a talent for the way that I think, and I have a talent for the special skills that I do daily. I have the X factor because of talent with production. I have started my own music production company. Yes, I am the CEO. My DJ name is DJ Krux, K-R-U-X. My reputation is pretty profound. There's a lot of competition out there, but the star that shines brightest is going to be seen.
Well, psycho and coward, those are just a few words that Marcy and Scott say Justin calls their daughter Danielle. They say they fear if she stays in this toxic relationship, it will only lead to Danielle's death and blood on Justin's hands.
Yep.
Now, listen, I want the two of you to forget about mom and dad for a minute and listen to me. Justin, you do agree and acknowledge, because you have acknowledged to us that you have put your hands on Danielle in anger. You've characterized it oftentimes as self-defense, but that you have put your hands on her in anger, correct?
It's not, I would say that it's not out of anger. It's to relieve the situation. I thought that, most men on this earth were, grown up and taught to don't ever hit a woman closed fist, open hand, or anything like that, like restrain the woman so that you can calm down the situation rather than, we all know that, females are extremely emotional, so.
Yeah, you're not here, but that didn't play very well in a lot of women in this room.
It doesn't have to be a negative emotion. It doesn't have to be negative.
No.
Yeah. Why, Danielle, is this okay with you for this relationship to deteriorate to the physical?
Because I feel like I have started it. I have put my hands on somebody else. Nobody's supposed to put their hands on anybody. So I feel like I am to blame as well.
Well, I made a list of your excuses, because you made some excuses.
Okay.
You say, with the physical abuse, I always start it. I punch or lash out first. He choked me unconscious to restrain me. I got upset. I ended up with a black eye. I punched him, lash out. He detains me by putting me in a chokehold until I calmed down. I got in his face and he choked me out for like a minute. I was nagging, getting in his face. He pushed me out of a parked car. Does this sound like a healthy relationship?
No.
There is absolutely, unequivocally, no excuse for him choking you unconscious. There's absolutely no excuse for you getting a black eye. This is dangerous. And if you're saying, well, I'm the one that started it, then you're being dangerous. I mean, this is childish, immature, lack of impulse control behavior on both of your parts.
I agree.
Does he coerce you into doing things you don't want to do?
I don't think so.
Does he bully you?
He can be mean sometimes, sure.
How about demeaning or call you names? Or you told me of an incident when you walked around a supermarket where you felt like you were a piece of crap because he humiliated you so much, put you down through the entire process. You actually cried to me that night. You said you felt like you were this big because he treated you that way.
That's okay. I mean...
That's okay.
That's not okay. That's what we're trying to tell you.
It really wasn't a big deal. It's like you guys exaggerate everything.
It's not exaggerated at all.
What one thing could you do to make this relationship better?
Be more attentive. Be more attentive to the needs that she says that she needs that aren't large to me, though I do not perceive to be large. I need to take the little things that she needs and and make them big to me.
I haven't really taught him how to treat me. I just kind of let everything go by.
No, you haven't. We're going to talk about that after the break, because next, Danielle reveals a side of her and Justin's relationship that her parents have no idea about. We'll talk about that after the break.
Thank you so much for that. You're a piece of You know that? You really are.
Thank you.
Not you, him.
To my knowledge, Justin has never cheated on me. I don't trust him, and I'm afraid that he's gonna sleep with somebody else. I started going through his phone, and I saw messages from other girls. I called one of the girls, and she told me that Justin said that he didn't even have a girlfriend. I've even seen Justin text other girls and say, "Can I have a sexy photo?" And some girls would Snapchat him photos of their butt. Justin downplayed the whole thing. Another challenge to our relationship is Justin's interest in pornography. He follows a lot of the performers and cam girls on Snapchat. He hasn't met up with any of the performers, to my knowledge. Justin has suggested that we bring another woman into our sex life. It made me really uncomfortable and led to a lot of fights. I've been on very high alert, and it's led to a lot of our issues.
Well, Marcy and Scott say their daughter's boyfriend, Justin, is a narcissist who has exposed their daughter to a life of crime and abuse. Well, there's something else they don't know. Marcy and Scott, you need to watch this. Take a look.
About 6 months into the relationship, Justin came up with this idea for us to make money. He showed me how all these people were making a lot of money doing pornography. Justin said, we can be at home, make money, stay safe, and have a lot of sex. I just decided if you can't beat them, then join them. We performed some sexual acts on social media. We had about 20,000 followers on our public account and about 1,000 followers on our private account. That you had to pay $25 to $35 to become a member. We did it for about 6 to 8 months and made a lot of money. I think we made over $30,000. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore, so I told him I was done.
Took $1,000 from us. Thanks, Dan. Thank you so much for that. You're a piece of You know that? You really are.
Thank you.
Not you, him.
No, not you. We're talking to him.
We're talking to
me
him.
too. He's with
right
me.
behind me.
Okay, well, he's
And
with
even
me,
in that
so you're
time, you
calling me a
earned
piece
$30,000, but yeah, we gave you $1,000 to go to California.
Stay.
But see,
It
he's
doesn't
a
stay.
No,
We have to pay
because
your
we
loans.
were living like
Wait. He's a CEO of a company. How come
Oh
he can't
my
financially
God.
support you? He can't even buy you food.
He can't even buy you food. You're eating eggs. You
For
came
weeks.
home emaciated.
You came home malnourished. You were beaten down like a dog, and you were pale and dehydrated.
We didn't have any money at that
You didn't
time.
have any
Like
money.
I said,
I thought
dirty
he's a big
money doesn't
CEO.
stay.
He's a big CEO of a company that doesn't produce anything.
Right.
You know, I get really surprised sometimes, and you guys are really surprising me right now. Because you just found out that your daughter is making sex tapes and performing sex acts on the internet that people pay to watch, and you're discussing his professional career as a producer?
No, that he cannot support her, so she has to do sex tapes.
I agreed. I liked it. It was fun. We were...
I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of you.
You can be ashamed. It's okay.
I'm disappointed and ashamed.
It's okay.
For the first time in my life.
That's great.
Yep.
I figured you would be, but that's why we're
Well,
here.
you're right
aren't
on.
we?
How do you feel about that?
I was excited, and it was definitely a thrill, but due to the trust issues, it got to be kind of daunting, and I don't know.
You said eventually, you said, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. I was doing it for business, and Justin was doing it for more so pleasure. I thought it was fun that we did it together, and when we were a team about it, it was great. But then when it started to become more pleasure for him and seeking out other accounts and other women, then it wasn't okay with me. So I said, no, we're done.
I'm appalled. I can't believe my daughter would make a decision like that. I can't believe she's been influenced by somebody like this, that
I'm
she
an
would make
adult.
a decision like that. But you act like a child.
Justin,
I act like a child. How? Because I had sex with my boyfriend? Pornography is a big thing.
Danielle, you were raised
What are
better
your
than
morals?
that.
He's changed your moral compass. Don't you get it?
it's not on the internet. It was only to 1,000 people. We knew exactly who they were. I don't really see
on our public account we didn't show
aspect
face.
with me having sex with my girlfriend. I think the pornography industry is a pretty good business module. I mean, there's no expenses, there's no resources. It's just the people involved expressing our loves together. You know, like, why not create a life with us? If both of us are happy with doing it, it's not like I pushed her into doing something that she didn't want to do.
You did it out of desperation.
They might not agree with their parents, but so that's why our parents aren't there. That's why they're not involved.
You're the only one I've ever heard use love and pornography in the same sentence.
It's only pornography because other people are viewing it.
Well, Marcy says Danielle is suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Marcy has a very bad history with alcohol. Marcy treats her daughter like crap sometimes. One time, I was listening to Danielle talk to her mother, and Danielle was begging Marcy to stop drinking. And Danielle's mother, Marcy, was taking shots of tequila. I sent a video of Danielle's crying to her on the bed.
So this is what I deal with whenever you have a conversation with her. See that?
I wanted to prove to Marcy that what she did, Danielle was severely affected by. Danielle and I wrote a track called Tequila.
You can sit and drink all day, waste your time and money.
Tequila, you could throw your life away. Tequila.
He is not a singer.
The reason why Danielle was crying was because my wife called her that day and informed her that she's turning 26.
Yes, I did.
And that she will no longer be on our insurance plan. And then she had this meltdown. And then that's when Justin called and gave us this wild, crazy-ass video.
You realize when I asked you earlier if you had any discontinuation criteria at all, anything that would be too much, you said no. And you also volunteered that you have no boundaries, right?
Not now. I'm creating them as we go on.
Well,
I'm learning to be in a relationship. This is probably one of the most serious ones that I've been in.
Toxic.
Well, because, you know, I've kind of looked at this like, okay, let's take a look, and we can use Justin right now as the candidate and say, you know, let's look at his resume. We know that he does hit you. We do know that he does choke you. We do know that he does call you names. We do know that he is willing to put you on the internet with sex tapes. We do know that as much as you talk about being a producer and having this career and all, that he is not providing for you in a way that is comfortable. So he does not provide. We do know that he has a criminal history, at least to the point that he could not come here and participate in this proceeding. Now, that's the resume. Who did you turn down? Does that look like a very impressive resume to you? And the reason I ask you that is because where is your self-worth? Where is your self-esteem?
No, I was in a very dark place.
Do you think what he's doing with you is abusive? Do you think you are a victim of abuse?
No.
He's calling you demeaning names, right?
I can call her a mean name. I can call you a mean name.
That would be abusive.
Okay. But then you can just turn around and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
That doesn't make it not abusive.
We can just, okay.
Are you just wanting to excuse this so you can go do it? Because if you do, if you really don't want to have a healthier life,
I do want to have a healthier life.
well, then you stop making asinine statements. That's asinine. You're smarter than that. You're better than that. You're smarter than that, and you're better than that. So you can make some flip, smart-ass statement, but you know better than that. You're being mentally, physically, and emotionally abused. And you better wake up and pull your head out, girl, or you're going to be in a lot of trouble. I've been married 40 years. If I came home and told my wife, I want to go on the internet and make a sex tape, I tell you, the next thing I'd be doing would be looking for my teeth on the floor. I guarantee you. We'll be right back. I hope you know, Justin, that you have change-worthy behaviors. Do you agree with that?
I do. I've done nothing but try to change for the better.
You're making some very bad decisions, I can tell you that. What I am willing to do is give each of you an opportunity to have some individual counseling, to come up with a life plan. Justin, for you individually, and Danielle, for you individually. So you enter the next phase of this relationship from a position of strength rather than weakness. I'm not offering you couples therapy at this point because you're not ready for that. I'm going to offer both of you help locally where you are, and I hope you'll grab it by both hands and make a difference here. Fix this now. Get this right. Will you do that?
Yes.
Will you do that, Justin? Okay. All right, we have to stop. Many of us think we're taking the right steps to living a healthy life, but in reality, we're often missing the important details. Robin launched her lifestyle brand, Robin McGraw Revelation, with the mission to encourage women to take care of themselves on both the inside and the outside.
We all know that eating well, exercising, and going to the doctor are essential to living a healthy life. But sadly, a lot of us ignore the importance of skincare. Well, ladies, if you have started to notice issues in some of the overlooked areas, I've created something to help end those problems.
Oh, you said end like it meant something special?
Well, yes, it does. It stands for my eye-neck duo. The Eyes Habit has powerful peptides, which help to reduce dark circles, puffiness, and wrinkles around the eyes. Up and Away Firming Neck and Décolleté Cream contains a peptide complex that plumps and tightens skin for a smoother appearance. And the D, well, I packaged them together in a duo. So get it?
Yeah, I think I got it.
D&D.
Okay, head over to RobinMcGrawRevelation.com to end what has started bothering you. And audience, what does end mean for you? Well, three things. One, the show's over. We're walking off, and you're taking home the eye-neck duo. We'll see you next time.
Lost my patience, ran away, and my hope keeps me awake. I am waiting for the day, for a miracle, let a miracle. Praying it out loud, no recall, getting on my knees, crawling on the ground. Need some energy. Is there anybody in there? All I'm breathing in is thin air. I don't feel my body in there. Is there anybody in there? Is there anybody in there? Wanna get a cause up in there. I don't feel nobody in there. Is there anybody in there? Is there anybody? No vacation for a while, walking slowly for some miles. I'm no longer waiting for the day, for a miracle, let a miracle. Praying it out loud, no recall, getting on my knees, crawling need some energy. Is there anybody in there? All I'm breathing in is thin air. I don't feel my body in there. Is there anybody in there? Is there anybody in there? Wanna get out cause I've been there.